So to give you a little background about Twin Peaks and who we are, about 2.5 years ago, Richard came to Mark Flanagan, our CEO, and asked for a training organization to be put together with the target of bringing an unparalleled value to the Alpha development community. And I think what you'll find when in talking to these individuals is that we've hit our mark. We have a phenomenal training program. And so out of that conversation, a strategic relationship was developed, and that's Twin Peaks, who is the strategic training partner for Alpha Software. So if you have new folks coming into your organization, or if you have things that you need to brush up on, Twin Peaks would be a great solution for you. Again, our mission, we just want to provide, was there a question? Okay. Our goal is to provide unparalleled value in training with the Alpha community. And in doing that, we do that through instructors, and the instructors come out of the community. They have domain expertise as well as Alpha software expertise. We also go through a pretty intensive training program for teaching. So you're getting a developer who can lead you and teach you in the vernacular and the terminology that you're familiar with. We have a methodology for training that's proven. On board, we have an expert in pedagogy. I don't know if you guys know what pedagogy is, but it's a method of learning. And specifically, this fellow's an expert in the way technology folks learn. So we take a very structured way of learning. We start from ground zero. We teach them step by step by step by step how things go. Now, what's neat about this, starting back at ground zero, some of these folks that stood up tonight, or this morning, we have guys that started out 0 hours in Alpha. In other words, they installed Alpha in our training session. And we have guys that have been 23, 24-year Alpha developers. So the training is geared in such a fashion that whether you're brand new or whether you're an experienced Alpha developer, we can hit the mark. And I think that when you talk to these folks, you'll find that is true. We focus on the core Alpha features, and we ensure that there's an effective balance of this teach a little, do a little, teach a little, do a little, teach a little, do a little. And what we find is that in our courses, we have a master instructor, and then we'll have another second instructor that's walking and roaming the room. We're finding that our students end up teaching each other. And that's when you know you're doing your job. When folks can learn in the class, one guy backs himself into a corner, and a student slides around and starts helping him. It's a really interesting concept. It works just incredibly, and I think that you'll find it's just a great place to learn. We just recently have added the disconnected to our advanced courses too. So if you're having a challenge picking up some of this disconnected stuff, we have a phenomenal training program on that. And we've worked really hard to ensure that our customers don't feel like this picture. You know, in the technology training, I don't know where it became acceptable, but it's always baptism by fire and drinking out of a fire hose. So we tend to have people who are tend to have people who are experts at front end, or experts at back end, or experts at DBA, and that's just relative to what part of the fire hose you get your mouth over. And so what we try to do is slow that stream down and structure it in a way that you can get great. You can assimilate all the knowledge that you need to for an Alpha developer. Again, training courses, we have these short presentations with an opportunity to hands-on. Go back to the 2-instructor model. It's one of the things that separates us from everybody else in the industry. We have a master instructor, and we have another guy who's just as gifted as a master instructor walking the room and helping people who back themselves into a little bit of a corner. And it's really easy for us to talk about how good we think we are, but it's even more important for us to be able to share with you customer feedback. Some of these folks are here in the room, but we've trained nearly 100 folks in the last year. Actually, a little over 100 folks just last week. So we're over 100 folks that we've done in a year, and we have a 1 to 5 rating that we go through, and we're at 4.89 right now. So we just have a phenomenal customer review, something we're very proud of. So here's the new program that we're rolling out right now. great discussions in the last 6 months of how long does it take for an alpha developer to become productive if we move them in through the Twin Peaks training courses. And so what we're finding is that in 7 days, we can take somebody from zero, we call it the zero to hero in 7 days. In 7 days, we can walk somebody through a developer course, an advanced course, and a mobile framework course. And with written response from our current customer base, we know they're productive the day they get back to the office. So the first course that we offer is a developer's course. In that course, you're going to be able to create and update a list. You'll be able to deploy mobile business applications, be able to perform fundamental SQL operations, and we'll be able to display the results of that SQL call, and then, again, go back to do the update and delete that we might want to be able to do with those. Second course that we offer is my favorite. It's the Advanced Topics course. And this is where we integrate the web-hardened security model into our projects. So when you leave the developer's course, you have an application. When you leave the advanced course, you have an application. These applications are built in a way that you can take them and replicate them. So when you leave the class and you start a new project, you can build right off of that security model. When you go start another project, you can take that security model and incorporate that into your new project. So it's a really a great way to start applications. We also teach you how to make an API call. In this development climate, more and more data is accessible by other parties. And the best way to do that is by making a RESTful API call or there's just 100 different ways you can make an API call. We also teach you how to debug an application. We're really surprised by how many folks that are seasoned developers that don't understand how to use a debugger. So we spend a little time with that, and when they leave, they're familiar with it, and they understand how to debug an application. Very important piece of it. And we also teach them how to do the disconnected. The third course that we have to offer is another 2-day course. It's with the mobile frame. We call it mobile framework, and it's a set of controls that we've defined as necessary to understand to develop the mobile environment. So you're going to create and deploy a responsive design. You're also going to be able to do absolute positioning in a way that you're going to feel proficient. You're going to feel confident to move forward with it. And phone gap. Phone gap is, Bob's done a great job yesterday of showing us phone gap. But I want to tell you, man, for the phone gap integration that we have within Alpha is just incredible. And it just opens up a whole new horizon for us as developers. So in 7 days, here's the guarantee. In 7 days, you can be an experienced developer. You can become proficient in mobile and web-based applications. And if you don't do that, someone will cut you a check back. No, we will. We will. We guarantee that you'll be productive in 7 days. So it's a phenomenal opportunity. So that's what I've spoken about up to this point is our in-house opportunities. We also have personal training that's done remotely. We have remote learning is where you would come to us and say, hey, I just don't quite understand panels. Can you help me with panel navigation? And we'll define a custom learning map for you. And it's bought in a block of hours, and we teach you. And we reinforce that. We have advisory services. And that's where you call us and say, man, I'm just not sure that I understand exactly what I don't know yet, but I know I want somebody at the end of the line when I call. And this is a block of hours that you can purchase so that you can have that availability. And then online training. Online training is our exact same course that's given in class. It's the exact same instructors. It's one-on-one. And you get the exact same certificate when you're complete. We also provide application development support. We also provide cloud-based services. We are exclusively recommending ZebraHost as the provider right now. If you have an application in the cloud and you're not with ZebraHost and you're on an Alpha platform, I'd say you're making a big mistake. They're the best in the industry, there's no questions. And we have that from our own experience, but we also have that from the people we refer to ZebraHost. They're just incredible. Those of you that know about the Programmer Series, the Programmer Series is narrated by Jay Talbot. Jay, are you in the room? Jay, can you stand up? I want people to know your face so they can come and see you. Jay narrates the X-Basic, what we call the X-Basic, what's it called, Jay? The Alpha Developer Guide to X-Basic. These are training videos. They're not product orientation videos. They're narrated by Jay's an expert in X-Basic, one of the best I know. And that's based on that's available on a subscription. Right now, Volume 1 is complete. Volume 2 is in the process of being released. So if you're subscribed, you get the chapters of Volume 2 as they come out. Typically about once a week, right, Jay? 1 to 2 a week right now. Good. And the other subscription that we have that I tell you, it's just one. I'm humbled by how well this has went over, but it's tips, tricks, and techniques for Alpha Anywhere. And it's another subscription-based video series that you can subscribe to. I happen to be the developer that works through each one of those, and these videos are all in response to questions that we get emailed into us. I'm having a problem with the signature capture control. You know, how does it work? I'm having a problem with panel navigation. How does that work? And so we have a great tips, trick, and techniques video that comes out every Monday. And with that, you also get the component. Next steps, as I wrap up here. Alpha Cloud will be rolling out soon. We're going to incorporate into our training program a very comprehensive training course for that, so that you understand how to use Alpha Cloud appropriately. We're also going to release our Getting Started with Alpha Anywhere, so that it'll be updated so that it reflects, the material within it reflects version 3, Alpha Anywhere version 3. And that'll be out very soon. And finally, we continually take emails from our customers. We evaluate those questions, those comments, those suggestions, and we react to them. And that's how we're going to move forward every day. So if you have any questions, well, I don't know how I did that there. Feel free to give me a call directly. This is my cell number. This is my email. Happy to answer any questions I have, or any questions you have. I'll try to answer my own too, but I'll look forward to answering yours. Any questions?
Do you have any free videos or things that we can see to kind of have an idea of what you got?
There are two internally. We call them promotional videos that are available, so you can see kind of the quality. I want to reiterate the fact that these are learning videos. These are edited by a professional. Each video goes through a pedagogical process, a method, so that we start from zero. We make no assumptions at the beginning of each one of these videos, so we want to start right from scratch and step you all the way through the video. So yes, there are some things out there that you can take a look at, and they're on the website, twinpeaksresearchllc.com. Any other questions?
How extensive do you go through the JavaScript of Alpha?
The question was, how extensive is the JavaScript that we work with? It depends on the subject matter. Every time that we run into something that's code intensive, we back it out step by step by step so that you can see not only how we've written it, but why we've written it the way that we have. And it's based on best practices. And a lot of the best practices that I build my code on is from watching Bob Moore in his phone gap. And there's a lot of best practices that he uses in there. And then we just take that and we implement that into our teaching program.
Do you have anything on non-Alpha specific, such as CSS or HTML or?
Not at this time. At this time, our focus is a strategic relationship with Alpha at this point. Any other questions?
Enough of you ask for it.
What's that?
If enough people ask for it.
If enough people ask for it, that's exactly right.
They have some very, I know some of the people involved from many, many years back. They've been doing training stuff for techie peoples for decades.